Well, we hit 2 milestones this past weekend. Meteorologist Danielle Noyes here for the 1 Degree Outside Weather Network. We hadn't hit 80 yet in Boston. We did that on Saturday, and we hit 90 degrees on Sunday. The average first 90 happens June 6th, so we're a little ahead of schedule this year. It happened on May 17th. We hit 90 degrees on the nose. This is the earliest it has been since 2018. Last year was a little behind schedule. We hit 90 plus on June 19th. A couple 90 plus degree days coming up for Tuesday and Wednesday. The heat risk on the map here, the orange, the reds, moderate to major risk here with this early season heat, highs in the low to mid 90s. So a few important things to keep in mind, right? And this anytime it's hot and humid. Stay hydrated. Electrolyte drinks can help. SPF 30 or higher, the UV index is very high, so you want to make sure to put on the sunblock and reapply. Light colored, lightweight clothing helps a lot. And if you do have to be outside, seeking shade just for a small amount of time and taking breaks is helpful. Check in on those who need it, your neighbors. Don't forget about your pets. And this time of the year, also very important that even though the air is hot, water temperatures are still very cold, at or just over 50 degrees in spots. So hypothermia does become a concern in terms of the shock getting into that colder water. With some recent rainfall too, some of the rivers in terms of the currents are running a little bit faster than normal too. Jet stream forecast way to our north. This is the heat coming in up and down the eastern seaboard. Tuesday, Wednesday, record breaking in spots from the northeast down to the mid-Atlantic. Then you notice the shift that comes in for the end of the week. The jet streams nearby. There's several dips that come by, so we'll have to watch the threat for multiple disturbances as we head into Memorial Day weekend, which we'll iron out the timing of, but also a return to seasonable levels of temperatures and actually slightly cooler than average likely for some days with the onshore flow for Memorial Day weekend. Look at these highs on Tuesday, 90 plus, all the way from Nashville to DC to here at home as well. A lot of 80s in the eastern half of the country, and then sharply colder air coming into the northern plains and the upper Midwest. So along that boundary, look at this. Threat for thunderstorms all the way from Texas stretching into Vermont in terms of the yellow shaded area here, which will likely see isolated to pop up thunderstorms that may become strong to severe. You notice for most of us, it's in far northern and western New England, but there will be a few storms that pop even in southern New England too, with the amount of heat and humidity that's in place. So we're putting you on guard here pretty much from like 1 to 8 p.m. That's the time frame of concern. Make sure you have our app, your location turned on, notifications turned on as well, so you can see any warnings that potentially pop up and look at the radar and see what's going on. Wednesday, another round with the trigger being this cold front that comes in. So out ahead of it, or hot and humid again. This front sweeps through from northwest to southeast, firing some showers and thunderstorms along its path. Again, most numerous during the afternoon to early evening. The front does push offshore. Biggest threats in any thunderstorms that develop, heavy downpours, brief damaging wind gusts, lightning as well. Some small hail possibly too. Friday, that front is well offshore, but this high bringing an onshore wind. So that's why we're relatively cooler to end the week. And I think the big question mark is, where does this front set up as we head into the upcoming holiday weekend, long holiday weekend? Does some of this moisture come back in? That is likely perhaps Saturday into Sunday, but this high may also kind of hang on with a cooler onshore flow, keeping the temperatures at some points 10 to 20 degrees below average. So the unofficial start to summer will not be feeling like it, but it is on the next couple of days. Look at this, 95 in Lawrence, 94 in Boston. The record to beat for Tuesday is 90 on the nose for Logan Airport. So I do think we exceed records in much of New England, mid to upper 80s all the way to Canadian border, 70s in northern Maine, predicted dew point, 60s. So when it hits 70, that's that, tropical soupy air mass. So we're not quite there yet. But low to mid 90s with dew points in the 60s is a hot and humid day for sure. And overnight, we don't cool off that much. Right around 70 in southern New England, 60s to the north with a continued southwest wind, 15 to 25 miles per hour Tuesday, and staying active through the overnight. Wednesday, we start to cool a little bit in northern New England. We're running in the 70s with that cold front coming in, but out ahead of it, we're still hot, right around 90 degrees. The record to beat in Boston for Wednesday is 91. Some spots, it's mid to even some upper 90s in the lower Connecticut River Valley, so it may be a little tougher to hit those, but we'll come close to challenging those records again on Wednesday as well. Dew points still in the 60s Wednesday too, but do you notice that drier air starting to come into northwestern New England? And that arrives really in earnest Wednesday night. We drop back into the 40s and 50s, actually some upper 30s in far northern New England, but no need to worry about frost. And then it's 20 to 30 degrees cooler on average on Thursday. A pleasant day. So if you don't like the heat, you're waiting on this cooler air to arrive. 50s in northern New England Thursday, 60s to right around 70, a little bit of an onshore wind, and then even cooler still during the day on Friday. Lower 60s at the coast, still around 70 in some of the warmest spots in southwestern New England. So a little bit of an up and down temperature-wise this week. You'll track it all in our app. 14-day forecast hourly in there. The current conditions, it's got it all. Videos right at the top, and access, of course, to our 24/7 streaming network and membership opportunities. 4 levels to choose from. All the details at membership.onedegreeoutside.com. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this 1 Degree Outside video.
Get exclusive content, support the mission at membership.onedegreeoutside.com. And don't forget, free and 5 stars on the App Store and Google Play. Search the number 1 Degree Outside weather.